Hello YouTubers, and thank you for joining me again. Today's video is going to be a bit of an update with regards to my portable radio case, which is here. You hopefully have seen the previous video I did concerning the portable battery pack. Probably the video before then was to do with this case that I built. Click up here and that will take you straight to that past video if you've not seen it yet. This is just an update. It's the Pelican case with the built-in radio. This one here. At the moment, it's just got my 2-meter Yaesu FT2600M radio in. The radio I had in last time, which was that Chinese-made one, based on the 8900, that broke. That's gone back to China, and it went back a week ago, and I've not seen or heard of it since. So that's probably lost now. So to continue using this case, which I did use quite often, I thought, well, this is a spare radio, put this one in and we'll carry on using it. I've made a few changes to this. What I've done, I've put in an extra battery pack. So we've got 2 lead acid batteries in here. I can't remember, I think they're 7 amp hour each. So we've got 14 amp hour, 12 volts. And I've had to reconfigure the charge controller on this radio. I'm going to bring the camera in closer so you can have a look and I'll explain why. Okay, so if you remember, the purpose of this was that I wanted to be able to charge up the battery packs that are in here via solar power. Now, the problem I was having was that you need to have a charger controller, obviously, to protect the batteries, especially when you're using up to 100 watts of panels. So you need to be mindful of that. So what I've done, I've connected this solar charger, which connects to my voltmeter. Again, we've got a main power switch there. We've got the button there that turns all the systems on, which then activates the 12 volt supply. I've got a little tiny USB adapter in there. Another 12 volt outlet there. 12 volts that powers up the radio, like so. Underneath here, 2 battery packs here, 7 amp hour each, wide and parallel. I'm not going to pull it all out because it's going to be a bit messy, but all the wiring underneath is done in such a way that it's all safe and done properly and works well. Before, this unit had to be switched on for this radio to work. Again, like the other power supply that I showed you in my previous video, the problem I was having is that if you try and start transmitting on here, this quickly reduces the voltage of the battery. Battery thinks it's going flat, this device turns off, the radio shuts off. So even when you've got a fully charged battery, after a couple of minutes of just transmitting, the voltage does reduce quite quickly. It quickly comes back up again once you've finished transmitting, but it's too late because this is already shut off and you've lost your transmission. So what I've had to do with this one is to take this radio directly to the battery. So this cable here goes straight to the battery. It's not controlled via here anymore. So the radio is switched on, I can turn off that output and I can actually isolate the whole of the battery. This will still work. This device here, this radio or whatever radio I have connected to these power poles here will always be connected straight away. For this 12 volts outlet to work and for the battery to charge using solar when plugged into there, this device here has to be switched on. So as long as that's switched on, you can probably see this little green battery light just appeared on now. Plug your solar panels into here, this will now charge the battery. This is completely independent. Again, it wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted to be able to protect the batteries from being discharged to the sort of damaging levels that you can go to. But there was no alternative, there's no way around it that I could see. I had no choice but to go directly to the battery. But at least when I plugged other things into here, at least they are controlled via this on and off switch. So this switch here powers this device. That's all it does, it literally just connects the battery to there. You don't get any output from this output until you press the power button. As you can see, the voltage meter shoots up and that has now become energized. This is completely independent. So far it works well. it's much better now I've got the extra battery in. So having two batteries in parallel just gives you that extra bit of power. I can't tell you how long it'll last for. It's difficult really, but it does last quite a long time. And if you have a solar power or solar panel connected to here whilst you're using it, obviously that does extend the lifetime as well. So all in all, it does work very well. A handy little light, great for nighttime operation. Don't really use it at night time, but it's an option, it's a possibility. This is a little 2-meter aerial that I use. It's from a handheld. Shown you that before. I think I can just screw in. When I'm in the shack, I've got an external aerial outside that just screws straight into there. It's a very good radio. I really do like this Yaesu. It's almost bulletproof. It's quite an old one. It's lasted really well. I just wish it was a dual band. But hopefully soon I should be getting my little China-made radio back from abroad, and hopefully that'll be working okay. So there we go. So that's just a quick update. So if there's any other power supplies or any other charger controllers you can get which would do what I want to do, i.e. protect the batteries but still give me a good output, then please let me know. I'd be very interested to hear, because ultimately I would like everything to be run through here to really safeguard the batteries. So if you've got any suggestions, any ideas, any way I can do this better, please let me know. I'll be glad to hear from you. One of the next projects I want to be starting, if I just put this away for the time being, is I have here another little spare case. It's an ex-army one. Well, Sly has also got one of these. I had a few of these at one point and I actually shipped one out to him. But I've got this one left here, and I've noticed that he's turned this into a portable power supply. It's quite a bit smaller than that one, but for purely for battery power and not to house any radio equipment, it's actually a fantastic idea. So I'm going to get myself some more cells, build myself a bit of a shelf in here, maybe another type of charger controller, and maybe an outside socket, a weatherproof socket, so I can plug things in and can still have this sealed, closed up, and still watertight. So that's something that perhaps I'll be doing for my next project. So I've got a bit of time on my hands at the moment, a bit of time off work, which is nice. So I think that's what I'm going to be playing with. So any suggestions, any ideas, any comments, please comment down below. Be sure to click somewhere up here, or is it up here? I don't know. Up here, have a click and you'll see my other portable power stations as well. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you another time.